I was sent an email with an amazing question. How can one have a minimal, slower approach to life when working in such a fast-paced industry as social media? Maybe you work in social media, or maybe you just want to keep in touch with your friends and family, or you maybe just want to sell on Facebook Marketplace. Whatever the case may be, if you're asking yourself this question, how can I do both? How can I use social media to my advantage or to serve others, while also adopting a more minimal, slower approach to life? If you're asking yourself this question, I first want to challenge you with the idea that you already had such an approach to life to begin with. It was no accident that I used the word regain a slow approach to life in the title of this video. I was recently listening to an incredible audiobook, Simplicity Parenting, and it's basically a book on minimalism, but for parents. Rather than it be focused on material items, it's all about having a reverence for childhood. And as I listened intently, I came to the realization that my kids, my 4-year-old and 2-year-old, are masters at slow living. When I tell Anna that we have to hurry up and get into the car because we have to go somewhere, she'll stop on the way because she saw a cool stick. And since she saw this cool stick, now she has to pretend it's a tree and plant it. On the way, after I tell her to quit that because we gotta go, she'll see a cool feather or rock and you gotta look at that. If you carefully watch a kid playing in nature, you might see that they submerge themselves in the present. They're not worrying about what's next. I realize that many of you may not be parents, but you are all children at one point. And somewhere along your life, someone like me rushed you along. Stop getting messy, quit playing around, hurry up, we've got to go. And you began to live your life more focused on doing rather than being. Up next, I'm going to share with you some tips that I've found helpful for me to help me live life more slowly in a world that constantly bombards us with screens and devices. But I first want to remind you that slow living and savoring simple moments in life is not a new skill that you have to learn. It's embedded within you. And by removing excess from your life, in this case technological distractions and devices, you can get back to that state of creativity and awe that you had as a child. When it comes to having balance with technology, it's definitely an ongoing process, especially if you work in social media. So hopefully you'll find the tips that I share with you to be helpful, and please share your own tips as well, because what works for me may not work for everybody else. In relationship to your technology use that is not an absolute necessity, I would first urge you to consider which activities you find to be energizing and which you find to be draining. For example, I enjoy editing. I'm still learning, but it's such fun for me. I find value in it. I also find listening to my favorite slow living and compassionate productivity YouTubers to be really helpful. I learn a lot from them. By contrast, if I give in to the temptation to watch YouTube shorts, 9 times out of 10, it was a complete waste of my time and I gained nothing from it. So maybe consider what specific activities you can cut back on. Ideally, it's the things that are not serving you any good purpose or that are actually causing harm for you. I would also consider unfollowing or unfriending any individual that is not necessary for your work purposes. So maybe having a client-only policy. You may not necessarily want to unfriend or unfollow everybody, and that's totally okay if you don't want to do that. But for some people, they have great balance if they keep work separate from personal life, and that can be a great way to have the balance. But maybe you do want to keep some friends or some individuals that are not necessarily business related. What I would definitely urge you to do is to consider which of these individuals are causing you to compare yourself constantly or to feel like you have to purchase new things. Maybe it's that individual that seems to have an extravagant lifestyle. Or maybe they just have awesome style of clothing and you want to have the things that they have. If you have friends or people that you're following or subscribed to that are constantly making you compare your life or to feel less than, I would urge you to consider that maybe you're better off without those. So take a short moment, or maybe a long moment if you have hundreds of people that you're subscribed to or thousands of friends on social media, and really ask yourself, what effect do these individuals or these accounts have on my life? Is this somebody that is constantly making me compare myself or making me feel less than? Or is this person teaching me things that are guiding my life in a positive direction? Once you've taken the time to do this, you'll find that mindfulness is truly at the heart of this issue. When you take a moment to step back and analyze how you're spending your time on social media, you'll begin to see areas where you can then improve. And after you've done this, set rules for yourself and be specific. For example, a rule can be as simple as no watching YouTube shorts unless it's from people that you're subscribed to, no using social media for entertainment, or no using your phone for the first 2 hours of your day. I remember hearing Jay Shetty say something along the lines of, you wouldn't invite hundreds of people into your bedroom the first thing after you wake up in the morning. But that's exactly what we do when we pop open our phones the first thing after we wake up. We're inviting hundreds of people into the bedroom of our mind. Another tip that I find helpful, especially having a full-time job while having this YouTube channel, is that I schedule specific tasks. So for example, I respond to emails and comments at around 6 in the morning. Because I usually wake up at 5 a.m., by then I'm a little bit more clear-minded, and it's also before my kids usually wake up around 7. This not only makes it so that I'm not distracted throughout the day, but also it means that I don't accidentally miss something because I'm sporadically answering, and then I'm guilty of forgetting about it and leaving them behind. I'm sorry, you guys. I've gotten better at it, but scheduling has definitely made it helpful. Also, whenever possible, turn off your notifications. It's very difficult to keep focused when you're constantly having distractions. But if you're worried that you might miss something that you need to respond to quickly, then maybe consider adding another time throughout your day that you've scheduled to check on emails or messages. Another personal rule that I really love for myself is that I do not allow myself to use a phone during meal times. So if it rings, then I just let it ring and then I call back after I'm done. One, because I want to show my friends and my family that I value my time with them. But two, I also realize that I need to slow down. Mealtimes can be a great time to take a break and be fully present in what you're doing, whether you're by yourself or not. It's also an act of self-care and mindfulness. We need breaks. So give yourself some grace and allow yourself to actually enjoy your meals. There's a lot more that I could say on this topic, but I'll leave you with another rule that helps me tremendously. This one I don't even have to think about because it's just set and done. No social media, TV, scrolling, etc. at least 2 hours before bed. To be able to feel and be our best, we have to prioritize rest. I've talked about it in my video, How to Wake Up at 5 a.m. Feeling Glorious, if you want to learn more about how to prioritize sleep and really improve your sleep habits. But this is something that has helped me just tremendously in general so that I can slow down and allow myself the time to really just wind down and relax before bed, setting the example for my children as well. So what I have done is that at 7 o'clock every night, any unnecessary apps are automatically disabled. So things like checking the weather or any social media applications automatically gray. And this serves as a reminder that it's time to slow down. I also have a do not disturb that's automatically set every night because usually my husband and I are in bed by 8:30 and it never fails. We would have a phone call at 9, 10, sometimes 11 o'clock at night. When we get up early in the morning, he wakes up around 4 or 4:30. So having a phone call come through at 11 o'clock at night was not exactly ideal. If you work on a desktop, it may be easier to just step back, turn it off and walk away, but our phones tend to just follow us throughout the day. So having these limits that are automatically programmed that you don't have to think about can serve as a reminder to yourself, it is time to slow down. So really the underlying message here is to be mindful of having boundaries for when and where it is okay to use it, for work or entertainment, by setting rules and schedules. This way you can ensure that you're taking the breaks that you need while also getting things done. And if you're really feeling overwhelmed, check out my playlist on digital minimalism for more encouragement on this topic. I hope that what I've shared with you today has been helpful. I know that some people want to quit social media, but they can't because that's what they do for work. And some individuals don't even want to quit. They just want to have better balance with it. And I think it's totally doable. If you have any tips of your own, please share in the comments below so that we can all learn from each other. I thank you guys so much for your support, especially for my subscribers. Thank you so much. I hope that my videos will improve and get better and there will be more to come. If there's anything particular that you would like to see, please don't hesitate to email or just leave it down in the comments below. Again, thank you so much and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now. There's so much noise. Eventually. For better rest, for a better morning the next day. Oh my goodness. So many distractions. See, I tell you, this wasn't even my phone, it was my husband's phone. There.